What's going on, guys? I'm Zach from the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we are talking about the Hisuian starters. It goes without saying that Pokemon Legends Arceus was one of the most groundbreaking games for the Pokemon franchise, and while we could go on and on about how that is the case, one of the biggest ways was that these games gave regional variants to starter Pokemon. In these games, you pick between Rowlet, Cyndaquil, or Oshawott at the beginning of your journey instead of Sinnoh's resident starter Pokemon, Piplup, Turtwig, and Chimchar. And it's explicitly stated these Pokemon were obtained by the professor in other regions. So these Pokemon aren't native to Hisui and are, in fact, interestingly enough, from other regions. Cyndaquil is from Johto, Rowlet is from Alola, Oshawott is from Unova. They weren't even obtained in the same region. This is just from Professor Laventon's travels. So, as you evolve Oshawott, Cyndaquil, and Rowlet, you notice they evolve into Dartrix, Quilava, and Duat. Nothing weird about that. That's how they evolve, where they come from. And then you evolve them again. And yeah, they're Decidueye, Samurott, and Typhlosion. But they look very differently. These are regional variants of these Pokemon, and they're given new typings, new designs, and wow, I can't even begin with how great these are. They're not only great designs, but what these designs represent is just, it's incredible. So as stated, the Hisuian starters were brought in from other regions, and in order to find out what exactly happened as they evolved, one must look at what happens in our world when we bring animals into other countries. So, for example, blue crabs. Blue crabs are found on the east coast of the North American continent and are actually currently a problem in Spain. They are invasive to the area. They believe they got there by tagging along ships, and they're invasive. Well, then another animal could be brought to an area, and it doesn't work out. They die. They are brought to extinction in that new area because they just weren't built for that place. But then you look at other places where an animal is brought there, and over time it begins to adapt to the area and changes to fit the area. So it isn't invasive, it isn't dying out in this new area, but it is having to change drastically for that. The Hisuian starters represent this. Let's begin with the invasive one, and that is Samurott. So, Samurott gets the water and dark type. The dark type, I think it's kind of common knowledge at this point, is called the evil type in Japan. And so that's exactly what it is. This Samurott is evil, it's aggressive, it's fierce, because it's an invasive species. It has taken over and become more aggressive, more invasive, wiping out other populations or dwindling other populations for its own survival in this new territory. Furthermore, we have Typhlosion. Typhlosion has died out. It has literally become a ghost type because Typhlosion has died. The Cyndaquil and Quilava, they can't survive in this new environment. It's not right for them, so they've died. Then we have Decidueye. Decidueye has changed into a fighting type from a ghost type because it is fighting to survive. It is adapting to the area. It's not invasive, it's not dying out, but it's having to make changes to make sure that its survival continues in this new area. Furthermore, look at their designs. So, Typhlosion and Samurott don't really have many changes to their actual forms, their original forms, but Decidueye looks pretty drastically different. And the reason why is because Samurott would have to change the least because it's an invasive species. It doesn't really have to change that much. It just is able to come in and take over an area. Not really any changes necessary. It's kind of already right for the job. That's why Samurott has very minimal design changes. Typhlosion doesn't have a lot of design changes because it died out. you don't really change much when you die. You just kind of become a corpse or a ghost, which is exactly what Typhlosion did. However, Decidueye has changed pretty drastically, and the reason that is because if you were to survive a new area, you know, you're not invasive to it, you don't have an advantage like Samurott did, but, you know, you're not going to die out like Typhlosion did. You were going to have to change pretty drastically, and that's exactly what Decidueye did. And so I think that this is a really neat detail about the Hisuian starters. Not only are they just great designs, but again, they perfectly represent in both their designs and typings. Samurott represents being an invasive species brought to a new area. Oshawott was brought to Hisui and became invasive. Cyndaquil represents dying out in a new area. Cyndaquil came to this new area, it didn't work out. Minimal design changes, and it picks up a ghost type. Decidueye, Rowlet is able to survive here, but it's having to fight to survive. It's having to drastically change. So Decidueye drastically changes, and because it's fighting to survive, it fittingly picks up the fighting type. I thought this was really neat detail, and I just wanted to get out there because while I do think people love the Hisuian starters, I don't think they're getting quite the love they deserve. This is just such a neat detail. So yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know which one of the Hisuian starters is your favorite. I know that mine is Samurott. I absolutely love it. I think that Samurott finally got the justice it deserves, but let me know yours. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications because we do talk about all things Pokemon on here. That includes Legends Arceus stuff, and it includes Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which if you didn't know are these new games coming out later this year, we're pretty excited about it. Until next time, I will see all of you later.